Hello everybody, and welcome to a bit of a unique video, trying out a different style with this one. I am going to be ranking all of the dies in Skyblock, except fire sale dies, based off how difficult they are to drop. Now, obviously there's a lot that goes into what makes a die difficult to drop, but a few things I'm going to try and keep in mind ranking them is, one, how long it takes, obviously, to get one on average. I mean, if a die takes 100 hours versus one that takes 1,000, obviously the one that takes 1,000 is going to be harder to get. I'm also going to be taking into account what you're doing, because that does play a pretty big part. If you're doing Slayers, for example, I mean, you're getting money, you're getting combat XP, you're getting a lot compared to doing 10,000 Bhakti, which, I'm sorry for your loss, truthfully. So, there will probably be a few other things that I try and rank it off of, but whatever. Let's get into it. So, Aquamarine die. I guess I'll give it a B tier. I mean, Aquamarine die isn't too bad, especially after Bayou fishing. There's a lot of, like, high level water sea creatures now instead of the zombie miners and the Sea Emperor. I mean, you still get those, it all adds up, but definitely now that Bayou is out, this is a lot better than it used to be. So, I mean, you also get pretty good money. Can't lie. Water fishing isn't too bad now. Oh yeah, I should probably mention, another thing I'm ranking it on is if you can just buy the things to drop the die, like for example the Archfiend die, which I'll rank in a second, I'll also take into account what it would be like to get, say, the dice, red gifts for Holly die, etc., from like an Iron Man perspective. Because it's not really fair to say, well, if you just buy everything to drop the dice, it's not that bad. Because in some cases it kind of is that bad. So anyway, Archfiend die. I mean, come on now. Getting, I think it's 16 high class, 14 or 15 or something on average. It's just not that bad. That's You can drop that pretty reasonably on your way to Blaze 9, maybe a bit after, so you don't have to really go like up and beyond Blaze Slayer that much to get the dice needed to drop this. The coin cost also just isn't that bad. You'll lose money, obviously. At least with like average luck you will, but it's not going to be a lot. So, yeah, D tier really. Bingo Blue. Crazy idea. Gotta give it C tier. So, per bingo, you can get, we'll say 100 points. You can definitely get more. You could probably get this in 4 events, but we'll round and say you can get this in 5. And that is a while. I mean, 5 months is a while, but it's not really 5 months of grinding for it. You could spend maybe like 15 hours per bingo getting over 100 points, probably less. It really just depends on the tasks, but 5 bingos isn't a lot. I mean, it kind of is, but considering some of the other dies here, what would that be, like 70 hours of actively going for this? It's just not that bad. But bingo is kind of challenging. I'm biased, I have max rank, so I'll give it a C tier. Bone die. This is a tough one. I'd either give it the very bottom of B tier, very top of C tier. The only way you're reasonably gonna get this, if you're actively going for it, is to build a skeleton minion setup, which is just so far out of the way. Like, it's easy, yeah, but you're just sitting there AFK on your island whacking skeletons. You're not really gaining anything. I'll give it top of C tier, very top, because it's really just not that bad, but you have to go way out of the way to get it. Brick Red. Yeah. So, the thing with Slayer dies, they aren't affected by Magic Find, so their base drop rate is just, that's its drop rate. So Brick Red isn't crazy. I mean, 500k spiders, that is a lot, but it's definitely the easier of the Slayer dies. But still, 500,000 tier 4s is insane. Same with Byzantium, except way higher. 500,000 tier 4 Enderman, that is a while. Slayer dies are some of the hardest to get in the game, and for good reason. Without Magic Find affecting these drops, it is insane to go for these. Carmen die. Before Bayou, I would have said that Carmen die would maybe go above Aquamarine, but I don't know to give it C tier. The fact that you can dupe Fiery Scuttlers, which essentially is just six chances to get this, I mean, it's just not that difficult. It's certainly easier than Aquamarine. Between this and a Bone die, I don't know. I think a Bone die would be harder. The fact that you can dupe Scuttlers is just insane. It's like, with a good Magic Find setup, you're looking at maybe like 300 Scuttlers you need to catch if you dupe them all. Like, it's just not that hard. Celadon. This is a tough one. This is either bottom of S tier or top of A tier easily. 10,000 Bacte. I mean, even if you get like the Blobber Cyst kills to like try and average it out a bit, I mean, you're still gonna do a lot of Bacte. And you don't get anything from Bacte. Like, you just gain nothing. You get moats, I guess, but doing Bacte is not a very good source of moats. I think just because of how many spider bosses you can do in an hour, I'll put Celadon above it. It really could go either way between these two. Celadon is just so mind-numbing to go for. Celestai goes above it, though. I mean, yeah, you can do more Svens than Enderman, but there's not really tech for Sven. There's never been any tech for it. There's that one time they made magic damage work on it, but other than that, Sven has been pretty just by the books. And 500k Svens? Yikes. What is this, Chocolate Die? Yeah, it gets its own tier. Come on now. Chocolate Die, it just can't compete with any of these. You literally get it by just not playing the game. Copper Die. This is one of the rarest dies because you need so many visitors to get it, but because of like how you get visitors just by farming or not even doing anything really, I mean, I think top of A tier suits it. It takes a long time to get, but like, you're not really doing a whole lot. Cyclamen. It's definitely C tier. I'm not sure where to put it in C tier though. I'd say it's above Carmen pretty easily. You have to kill a lot of either Vanquishers, those Hell Wisp things, Smoldering Blazes. I mean, it's not that bad. If you do a lot of Blaze Slayer, you probably will get one of these at some point. I know I said I'd put Bone Die at like the top of C tier. Yeah, I'd say this is bottom B tier. This is definitely rarer than a Bone Die if you're like optimizing for Bone Die. Dark Purple. It's just not that bad. Literally just check the Dark Auction. You sit there for 5 minutes. You either get it or you don't. Like, it takes 130 auctions to get one on average. I mean, sure, you have to bid for it, but if you're going for this, you're going to buy it, so it's not like you're gonna fold when someone else starts bidding. Well, maybe you will. I don't blame you, bro. Collectors are crazy. But I mean, if you do this during a 3x, that's what, 45 auctions? I mean, just like average play time, if you play 8 hours a day, which is a lot, but bound to get it. I should mention that too. If you can get one of these dies out in a 3x, like they're going down a lot in the ranking. Is this a done die? This is a tough one. I think bottom of S tier. You got, like, just because you can't use looting because you have to kill with a vacuum. You're killing with a vacuum, so no Chimera, barely any Magic Find. Like, it just destroys the drop rate. I mean, you can it has a like what 1 in 100K from field mice. I mean that's a decent starting thing, but you just don't get any buffs to really work off of that. So you'd have to kill a ton of field mice. That was crazy that I dropped one of these. I'm the luckiest man ever, bro. What is this, emerald dye? Ooh. This is a B or a C tier. Emerald dye is not dropped very much, but if you're actively going for one, it's just not too bad. Especially during a 3x. I think this is one of those dyes you can probably do during one 3x. If you like put your mind to it. I'll put it below Carmine dye because the gear needed to like efficiently go for one of these is a lot less than Carmine. I mean, you just need glossy mineral and a decent drill. Flame dye, top of S tier. Yeah, top of S tier. You need far more gear for Blaze than you do for Enderman. And Blaze is just crazy. Like 500k tier 4s is a lot. What is this? I think this is fossil dye. Well, this is the first one you can buy your way into with a regular profile, but for Iron Man, you need like 14,000 suspicious scrap. I mean, I can't really base it off that alone because it's not really fair because you can just buy that suspicious scrap, but that is expensive. That is expensive, and you get nothing back. You'll be number 1 glaciite powder, but you will get nothing back money-wise. Top of B tier doesn't feel fair. I mean, this is pretty tough. Give it A tier. Give it A tier. Frostbitten dye. This is a tough one. I mean, unlike fossil dye, you don't lose as much opening vanguards compared to just the money sink of doing suspicious scrap in the excavator, but it's still a tough one. It's fairly tough but possible. I think B tier is solid for it. Holly dye. Give it top of D tier. I think you need when is it 3x? Like 2.6k gifts, red gifts. That's a lot, but it's not exactly insane, especially if you catch a lot of range rakes. Especially now with all the buffs to fishing, it's not too difficult to like get 2k gifts. It's definitely harder than Archfiend dye, but it's not too bad. Iceberg. The thing with Iceberg dye is if you go for it any time other than December, it's crazy difficult. But if you do it during December, it's not that bad. I'd say it's easier than Aquamarine dye just because you get so many mobs that have a better drop rate. Like Frozen Steve is 1 in a mil, and it's common, versus Seawalkers, which are 1 in 5 mil. Actually, just because of that, is it? Yeah, it just isn't that bad. Jade dye. This is one of those dyes where like, if you meter it, it's doable. Very difficult to grab. Yeah. If you're going for the actual drop rate without metering it, I'd give it S tier, but because you can guarantee it in 5,000 runs, you have like a goal to work towards. And nucleus runs do make a fair bit of money. But you also have to sit there and actively choose to avoid 5 alloys to get it, that's tough. I think A tier is solid for it. Livid dye. You know, dungeon haters, they can cope. I think Livid dye just isn't that bad. I mean, if you look at its drop rates and you optimize, a 3x is it'd be rare to get it in one 3x, but a second one where you're actively going for it, you'd have it in that average. I think because of that, I think bottom of B tier. Mango dye. I'm putting this one right alongside Emerald. If you actually, below Emerald, below Bingo Blue, I'd say. Mango dye it's foraging, so gotta give it some points there because you have to actively go forage. But The gear wreck is a tricapitator and maybe a monkey pet if you want, but other than that, like the setup for this is maybe like less than 70 mil to go for a mango die. It's kind of mind numbing, it's easy. I mean, it's not that bad. Maybe I'm biased towards these two because I dropped emerald die and mango die really early and got really lucky. Matcha die. Or matcha. I'm gonna die now. Yeah. Tier 5 revs, I mean, it is what it is. They aren't that bad. I think it's definitely harder than the spider one because tier 5 revs, they do have a better drop rate, but you kill less per hour compared to spider, like overall. So, not too bad. Was midnight die, I think this is? It's definitely harder than the other two fishing dies. It's the hardest fishing die by far. Because if you try to go down the route of killing Headless Horseman, you are going to go broke. I was doing research for all of these before making this video, and you will go broke buying Horseman candles going for this. Gotta give it A tier. Iceberg die has a whole month where you can go for it. Aquamarine die you can go for it all times. Carmen die, Scuttler duping just makes really easy, but this, you get 3 hours every 5 days, and those 3 hours might be in the middle of the night, so you might just have to skip out on the event. Like Grim Reaper, Phantom Fisher, they're pretty common, but when compared to these other ones, you know, you have to wait so long. Mocha die. Again, this one with the Iron Man perspective it definitely gives it points. Because getting 11,000 sugarcane or 11,000 enchanted gold blocks, I mean, it's pretty rough, can't lie. I think even then, it's C tier. Definitely above these. Above Bone Die? Yeah. Yeah. I'd say above Bone Die. Or not above, but below Bone Die. It's difficult, but compared to like these ones, it's just not too bad. Nade Shiko. This one is really tough to rank. It's the rarest by far, even above Flame Die, just off of base drop rates. You'll be enchanting for years trying to get one, but you can meter it. Granted, metering it takes 2 years, year and a half? I'd have to do the math. But, I mean, most people do enchant. I think very top of A tier. If you're dedicated to this game and you want one of these, you can get it in time, but I don't think it has like what these dies have, which is just even if you are actively saving meter, you're going to be there forever. Cuz enchanting it's like 10 minutes a day. It's just not that bad. Necron die. Where did I put Livid die? Right here. I guess it's a little harder. Way more gear required. I mean, the thing is if you're doing 7-minute M7s, which, oh no, 7 minutes, it's awful. The world is ending, but yeah, whatever. I mean, you can do like 3-minute M5s. It's just, M5 is less gear and overall, like, faster runs towards it, where Necron die is much more gear required and usually slower runs on average. So, they're pretty equal, but I think Necron die is a little harder. But you do get a shitload of money going for Necron die. I think this is Nyanza. This is a tough one. This is like 1,000 hours of just doing Glaciite commissions, which, I mean, you'll make some money, but I think very bottom of S tier. It's not quite as bad as all of these, but at the end of the day, you're doing commissions for 1,000 hours, which is not very fun. Get a ton of mining XP, though. Pearlescent. It's harder than Cyclamen, just because you either... The best way is to do Dragon. Maybe it's easier than Cyclamen. Because Dragons they can be profit on average, but still. Yeah. You can definitely get it in like a 3x or 2. Even like a 2x isn't like the end of the world. Yeah. I think if you go down the Dragon's route of going for it, it's a lot easier than doing Enderman Slayer and killing Voidling Fanatics. Where Cyclamen Die is kind of the opposite of you're better off just doing Blaze Slayer and hoping you get it passively. But if you actively want to go for Pearlescent, then Dragons make it pretty easy to go for. Pelt Die is a tough one. I keep thinking I'm not going to add anything else to S tier, and then, like, I remember how awful some of these dies are to go for. Very difficult. It is very difficult. Because Magic Find also doesn't affect the Pelt die, I'm tempted to put it in S tier. I think I will. Is it worse than Dun die, though? It's like 25k Field Mice versus... Yeah, I think it's worse. Truthfully, I think it's worse than Brick Red as well. So, yeah. Periwinkle. I just noticed Secret Die just isn't in here. I might fix that later. Periwinkle. The thing with Periwinkle is you can't really actively grind for it. It's dropped from runic mobs. So you can't really actively grind for it. Your best bet is killing ghosts, because ghosts are some of the mobs with the highest kills per hour, and they also have a high level. Because Periwinkle scales off of mob level, most of the enemies you're killing are below level 100. They're just going to roll 1 in 500k. But ghosts are level 250, so they're rolling a 1 in 300k rate. Plus their bestiary gives more magic find than pretty much every other one in the game. It's bad. It's really bad. Grinding a Periwinkle die through ghosts is atrocious, but considering the entire rest of your Skyblock career, you're going to be occasionally killing runic mobs. I think very top of A tier. It could be S tier, but I think very top of A tier. Pure Black. Just put it under. Same with Pure White. If you just hoard bits, these two aren't that bad. That's what I do. I could buy like 5 of one of these. Pure Blue and Pure Yellow are top of S tier. Like every 100 Skyblock years, so every almost year and a half, you have a chance at these, and it is purely down to luck, and there's nothing you can really do to affect it. If you get it, cool. If you don't, good luck next year and a half. Sangria. It's another Slayer die, but the thing with Sangria is you already don't get very much magic find on Vamp, so that has a lot less of an impact than the other Slayer dies. It's still really difficult, but if magic find did work, it would only be bumped down to 1 in 8k. When I mean, granted, that is kind of like 20% of the grind just slashed, but I think just because magic find doesn't play as big of a role compared to the other Slayer dies, I'll give it, please. I'll put it between Periwinkle and Nade Shiko. Because honestly, you're not losing a ton of chance compared to the other Slayer dies. You lose a lot of chance. 2,000 extra kills is awful, and you are doing Vamp. But Vamp makes okay money, so it does have that going for it. I just don't think... I think the magic find issue is far less of an issue with Vamp than these other Slayer dies. It goes, like, not having magic find for Vamp makes it harder versus the other Slayer dies, or it makes them borderline impossible to get. At least for, like, Flame and Byzantium and Celeste, too. Treasure die. This is a tough one. If you fish in the bayou, like junk fishing, it's pretty tough, but you can get it eventually. I think it belongs in A tier. I'm just not sure where. Probably harder than Midnight Die. Probably harder. Yeah, Jade Die's guaranteed. What is it? Fossil and Copper? Yeah. I think between these two is a good spot for it. Tentacle die. I mean, this one's kind of in the same boat as Livid die and Necron die. If you just like playing Kudra, then you'll probably get one at some point. I mean, it is 1 in 20k, so runs are faster though. But still, 1 in 20k compared to 1 in 5k from M5, like even the time difference of doing 1-minute Kudra runs, it is overall rarer than these two. Probably pearlescent as well. It's a B tier for sure, but I'm trying to think of where I would put it. Is it Cyclamen, Aquamarine, Frostbite? I'd say it's harder than Iceberg die. You also do need a ton of gear to do Kudra efficiently. Yeah, I think just off of that, I'll put it here. Could be top of B tier. It's definitely, it's not very difficult to grind, but it is very tough. It's possible though. And then Wild Strawberry. This one takes like 2,000 hours of farming, which, that's rough. That's like maxed garden, like crop milestones, like 4 or 5 times over solo, which is, a lot. But think of all the shows you could watch. Yo, that's so true. I think bottom of A tier is fair enough. 2,000 hours is just an insane amount of time, and 3x isn't really going to make a dent in that. So the gameplay makes it very easy. Like those 2,000 hours are not going to be as taxing as like doing a Slayer for 2,000 hours, but at the end of the day, it's still 2,000 hours. So you got to give it points for that. So I missed Secret Die, but it would be top of S tier somewhere. Maybe between Byzantium and Celesti. Because the thing with Secret Die is it's 1 in a mil, which when I was doing research, I didn't think was that bad. Class average 50, 10 times over. Sure, it sucks, but if you like playing dungeons, maybe you'll get it. It's only from chests. That was a crazy thing to find on the wiki. Because if you click a chest with the Terminator, which everyone does, you don't get the secret. Pretty straightforward. Because it deletes the secret. But if the secret die only comes from chests, the math, it's not making sense. So, unless the wiki is wrong, I would probably put secret die maybe below Byzantium. That's a close one, actually. It would be pretty bad to just sit there and, like, not even open a million chests, but to not be able to, like, quickly open them. Like, you have to go up, click it, open the GUI. It might beat Flame Die. That is a very close one. Let's see here. Let me go grab it. I give up. But yeah. Anyway. I'd say Secret Die is harder than Flame Die, because Flame Die, as long as it would take to get 75 mil XP, that is an end goal. Whereas Secret Die is probably an equal rarity and no end goal. But still, it doesn't have anything on the raffle dies. Maybe someday Pure Blue and Pure Yellow will be purchasable with bits, but until then, those are the two hardest. Now, a few, like, I wasn't going to just end with the tier list, but some of these dies are really difficult for kind of dumb reasons. I mean, Slayer dies for one. Please make Magic Find affect them. Please. Same with the Pelt die, low-key. What was this, Nyanza die? That one's... It's bad, but I don't see how much you could buff it except just buffing the rates. Same with Celadon. Dun die as well. But Slayer dies... Please, John Hypixel, make Magic Find affect them. Alright, so that is my tier list. Kind of crazy that like a fourth of the dies ended up in S tier. But yeah, feel free to comment below and flex that you got a Flame die or a Byzantium die or whatever. Because honestly, it's super cool to drop a die. I've dropped a few. I got a Mango, Emerald, and Dun die so far. And a few like easy ones like fucking Holly die and Chocolate die, but who cares? But yeah, dropping dies is super cool. I think it's a fun grind to go for, and I hope that in the future they try to balance it a bit more and add more dies like the treasure die. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.